How's it going, my fellow Homo sapiens? It's your boy Uzumaki Hadou, and I'm back at it again with my anime collection, episode 7. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So the first anime we got on our list today is Initial D, baby! Oh my goodness. Now, first thing first, let me go ahead and put a little disclaimer up here. I'm not a fan of racing anime, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, racing anime, mecha anime, I'm not really a big fan of. Usually I stay away from anime like this. However, years ago, man, I watched the episode of Initial D and I was just, my mind was just blowing. Just blown. It was just incredible. This anime here is just, oh my goodness, it is awesome. So you have this character, the main character, his name is Tak. He's like this ordinary high school kid. He's just normal. He really don't care about anything. And he works for his father in his shop. And he delivers food, for crying out loud. He has an ordinary, boring life. He doesn't care about racing. But he's really, really good at it. But as the series go on, he becomes better and better and better. He's just so fucking hardcore. Like, this dude is so awesome, man. To me personally, he kind of reminds me of the personality, kind of like One Punch Man, that kind of plain personality. But he starts to like racing and he wants to race and he has his passion to race. And it's just incredible. I mean, the characters here is awesome. Some of the gangs in this series, like the Miyoki Night Kids, are really, really cool. Great character development. I mean, even the side characters, you really want to know what happens to them. Now, even though I have the whole collection, there's more of Initial D that just haven't been dubbed yet. Lucky enough, Funimation did take their time and actually dubbed some more Initial D. So I have that here. But these are some of the older ones right here. And I mean, I love it. I mean, like, you have all these different cars. It's all about drifting. Man, it's just incredible. So this is some of the older ones that I had when I was a child. And it's just really, really incredible. It makes you want to go out there, hop in your car, and race for real. So this is the newer ones that I think Funimation had licensed the other half of the chapter. Really, really great. I mean, if you're like me, you're not really big on racing anime, you know what I'm saying? This is something that I will say at least give it a try out. It's a very old anime, but it's incredible. Incredible. I mean, I just can't recommend this anime enough. It's called Initial D. Now, I believe the manga had just ended this year, or was it last year? But man, oh man, this is incredible. It has live action movies, it has anime movies. It's great. I mean, it's definitely intense, it's awesome. I can't recommend it enough. The next one we have is Kettle Star. Now, this is more, I feel like, more of a female type of anime. So I picked this up years ago at a pawn shop. Actually, before I was even in college. So I picked this up years ago. And believe it or not, Kettle Star is Kaleido, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Kettle Star, is a really, really interesting anime. Even though it's more like girly, I felt like it had a really, really good storyline. It was pretty awesome overall. But I ended up falling off of it because the pawn shop at that time just didn't have the rest of them. And it was just one of those random things. It was in a bargain bin. They was basically giving them away. I think it was like $2 at the time. So I was like, I pick it up. It was something different. Then we have When They Cry. Now, I'm going to be honest with you with this anime. Even though I buy a lot of anime, every now and then you pick up a dud. Maybe other people like this type of anime. Me personally, I really didn't care too much for this anime, When They Cry. I felt like it didn't have a storyline at all. Each episode was just different. So for one example, if like the guy kills a girl in the first episode, the next episode she kills him, or the third episode they're like boyfriend and girlfriend, it would just really didn't make sense. Now, this is a more bloody and gruesome type of anime. And one thing, if you know anything about me, I love my bloody and gruesome anime. I love my torture. But in this anime here, it really just didn't have a storyline that I could see. I don't want us to see plain out torture. I would like to see torture that, you know, that has a storyline and I can, you know, feel for the character perhaps, or be happy for. This here was just this people getting their legs cut off. It really just didn't have any anything to really kind of put to the storyline. And the characters was just really one-dimensional to me personally. I just didn't like this one at all. And it's unfortunately, I didn't finish it. I got to maybe like towards the end and just fell right off. Unfortunately, sometimes you pick up anime like this, and it's sad, unfortunately. Then we have the whole collection of Zenki. Yes, man. So I believe it was like maybe the late 1990s or maybe the early 2000s when I got up on this anime here. A really, really great anime for its time. I mean, it's really awesome. I enjoyed it. It's extremely old, but it's a pretty decent anime for its time. Then we have Baki The Grappler. Man, this anime here is on a whole nother level. I mean, I remember looking at this anime online. They had the trailers kept showing back in the day. So I picked it, me and my buddy picked this up. I mean, this is a really, really great anime. It's all about fighting and grappling. But I think like some of the main characters I really do like about this anime is Baki himself and his father, Ajira Hagma. And I probably pronounced his name wrong, but he's the guy with the red hair. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like out of all the humans in anime I have ever seen, I think Yojiro Hanma is the strongest human I have ever seen in anime. Now, I can't count Krillin from Dragon Ball Z because he has abilities. This guy here, he doesn't have abilities. He just uses his muscles. And I mean, he is just extremely strong. I mean, this guy at one point made the U.S. military fear him. As they have MR-15s, I mean machine guns and everything. He goes and he takes out a military base. I mean, this guy is just extremely strong. He killed his own son's mother. I mean, this dude is a beast. But one thing I really do like about this anime is just the characters in it and just the fighting styles they have. It really is interesting, especially Baki. I mean, there's this one point where if you get beat up enough, like I guess something triggers into your brain and you don't feel pain anymore, it feels pleasure or something of that nature, and you can just go in and start fighting everyone and not feel pain. Really, really awesome. Me and my friends, we used to have this joke that, you know, you get beat up enough and you bust a nut, then you get in there and you start fighting. It was just extremely funny. But this is a great series. I felt like when Yojiro Hanma got on the screen, he really just stole the anime. I mean, he just really made the anime so awesome because you ask the question, who can beat this guy? Who's going to be able to take this man out? Can his son one day take him out? And at the end of the day, his son couldn't beat him. I mean, this guy is just so brutal, so badass, so awesome. Great character development in this series. I mean, there's so many different things. And not just that, you grow up with Baki. So in the first series, he's really, really young. He's this young kid. In this series, he's like in his teen and his early adulthood. And I really like anime that you grow up and you learn with the characters. And you just grow with the characters. Now we have Darker Than Black. Yes, we got the first series and we got the second series. So, now, Darker Than Black, I really enjoyed Darker Than Black. Darker Than Black was really, really awesome. So you have these people that have these abilities. But the coolest thing about this storyline is they have like this cooldown, kind of. So like, you have one person that can maybe blow something up, but immediately afterwards, they have to stack rocks up in a nice line. They have no choice. They have no control over that. One person could like maybe blow up your head or blow like body parts up, but afterwards they have to sing. Like I think it was a female. Like she had the ability to torch shit, but afterwards she had no choice but to sing. She couldn't run to safety. She could only stand there and sing, and it's crazy. And I really love that. Like you had one person who could cause massive destruction around the world. However, afterwards, she had to drink like children blood or eat children. It was something crazy like that. And it's just a overall great series. I mean, great diverse characters. I mean, there's all type of people in here. Really, really good. You have this cat that can talk. I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but it's awesome. It's just great. I really enjoy Darker Than Black. Now, let's talk a little bit about Darker Than Black 2. Because where Darker Than Black 1 was just a overall great series. I mean, great character development. I mean, I even felt bad and felt pain when certain people died. But when it came down to Darker Than Black 2, I felt like the main character, and this is storyline overall, which is this this really underwhelming, to be honest with you. I mean, the main character, he's a drunk when you come off in this storyline. He's abusive. He's taking care of this young girl. He's really abusive. He's just a really fucking asshole. A totally different character from the first series. But what really pisses me off, like, I could get past him being a drunk and a whole new personality, but really pissed me off is this new girl here. You know, they hyped her up so much. It's like, if she awakens, she's going to destroy the world. Her power is so godlike. She's too powerful. We must stop her before she awakens, you know? And it's like, you know what? I'm putting all my stock in her because her ability is going to be incredible. And finally, when we find her ability, she pulls out this big-ass gun. And I'm like, really? What? Like, is that it? That's your big ability? You can pull a gun? It's like, can it blow up a tank? It can scratch a tank? But I thought it could destroy the world. So overall, I was really disappointed because they hyped her up so much, and she was just this, to me personally, this garbage. Very, very underwhelming awakening. I didn't like it. But at the end, it had a really, really interesting scene where you have this child in a coffin that's still alive, and I guess he or she wakes up and asks the question, is it the child of the main character, or is it a spinoff? Who is this kid? What's the purpose? What's going to happen in season 3? So hopefully in the next year or 5 years, we get some closure on who that kid is. But overall, I will definitely recommend Darker Than Black. The first series is really, really awesome. The second series, I felt like, it was good, but it could have been better. Now we have a newer anime here. We have Deadman Wonderland. I really like Deadman Wonderland. I thought it was awesome. I even questioned things like, what if we had something like that in real life where we took prisoners and it was like, you know what, we can give you time off, but you know what, you got to go to this death sport or something of that nature. I thought this anime was awesome. I mean, they could use their blood for different abilities and things of that nature. I was hoping that there was going to be more episodes to this. I mean, this series is very, very short, and because it's very, very short, you're left wanting so much more. I know the manga went on for a very long time, and I'm hoping that they add more to the anime. Now, I think it did spin a little bit different from how the manga was going, so that's probably why the anime kind of stopped, but overall, a great anime. Now, next, we have Master Martial Hearts, a great anime here. I really enjoyed this anime. Now, this one is more about kind of like fighting, but more fan service than anything else. I mean, you got tits, you got ass. It is really, really a pretty interesting anime. Now, not really big on the storyline. I think it's just more just ass and titties and fighting. And it's really hard to mess up an anime that's all about ass and titties and fighting. I mean, it's very difficult for an anime to mess up like that. But overall, I think that it was a great anime. I mean, great action scenes, great tit scenes, great ass shots. I think it was overall great. Now, the only thing that I kind of question is what type of fabric the clothes they was wearing. Because, like, there's one point where one chick hits another chick in the stomach. Just hit her in the stomach, but her pants blow off. This rips off, and I'm trying to understand these fixes. You know, it's like, how do you hit her in the abs, but her pants blow off? You know, it was just incredible. It was pretty funny. You know, like one girl, she gets chopped, and all her clothes blow off, and I'm sitting there, I'm chopping the couch, because I'm trying to learn that technique. Like, I'm about to use this shit in real life. It's overall pretty great. You know, it's one scene where I think one of the chicks swing at another chick, and she missed. Like, it was a clean miss. But I guess the wind off her attack just blew all her clothes off. And I'm like, where are y'all shopping at? The Goodwill? Like, what's going on there? But overall, I felt like it was a really, really good anime. Great fan service. If you're into that thing, yeah, definitely. I enjoyed it. I like, you know, fan service and fighting, so that's awesome for me. And finally, we have Queen Blade! Now, Queen Blade, I understand, has a lot more series to go with this. I just haven't actually took time to go look out for some more series. But I think Queen Blade here is really, really great. Now, the difference between Queen Blade and I think Master Martial Hearts is Queen Blade actually has a pretty decent storyline, and I feel like the art styling here is much better. I also do feel like Queen Blade is kind of borderline hentai almost. It's kind of on the boundaries. It's still anime, but it can kind of tip over a little bit. But I feel like the characters here is so much better. The action This hands down. I feel like Queen's Blade is superior in every way when it comes down to something like martial arts. This one here feels really, really good. I mean, I really love the characters in here. Great ass shots, great breath shots. I mean, when you want fan service, this is definitely the anime to go for. Fighting scenes, action, and very, very diverse characters. I mean, the characters doesn't just seem the same. You know, the characters are very, very different. Had many different abilities, so it's very difficult to kind of confuse the characters because each character have their own unique design, their unique body. This is really, really interesting. But I know they had this one character. I mean, her breast is so huge, it like defies gravity. Like, it's incredible. Like, I don't ever know any form of technology that we can use to, like, in real life to hold someone's breast. Like, their breast is like the size of my body, but she's extremely strong. She's really, really badass. She's powerful. She has this kid that she walks around with, her own daughter or son. But really, really great anime. I really enjoyed this anime. One day I will go out and pick up more of these series and pretty much try to finish the series off. But I really enjoyed this. But that's all I have for you today. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching. Matane.